Breaking news out of Syria late tonight. Word the U.S. dropped 60 cruise missiles on a Syrian airbase.
This is a direct response to this week's brutal chemical attack on Syrian civilians, the work of dictator Bashar al-Assad. President Donald Trump speaking just moments ago from Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, and that's where we find CBS 4's Carey. He begins our team coverage.
Well, Rudabeh and Rick, it was right across the intracoastal waterway where all those lights are at Mar-a-Lago, where the president spoke this evening. He announced his decision to strike at Syria for the chemical weapons attack earlier this week that killed dozens, injured more, and outraged everyone who saw its aftermath. The president said he ordered the airstrikes because it was in the national security interest of the United States. We're told the U.S. launched between 50 and 60 cruise missiles from ships in the Mediterranean Sea at the airfield where the plane that carried the chemical weapon, possibly the nerve agent sarin, took off from. That chemical attack in northern Syria earlier this week was about 50 miles or so from that airfield, according to CBS News. And it appears those missiles all landed within minutes of each other, and with each missile carrying a 1,000-pound bomb, it was quite a coordinated attack. Now, here is what the president said from Mar-a-Lago just a short time ago.
My fellow Americans, on Tuesday, Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad launched a horrible chemical weapons attack on innocent civilians. Using a deadly nerve agent, Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. It was a slow and brutal death for so many. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched. It is in this vital national security interest of the United States to prevent and deter the spread and use of deadly chemical weapons. There can be no dispute that Syria used banned chemical weapons, violated its obligations under the Chemical Weapons Convention, and ignored the urging of the UN Security Council. Years of previous attempts at changing Assad's behavior have all failed, and failed very dramatically. As a result, the refugee crisis continues to deepen, and the region continues to destabilize, threatening the United States and its allies. Tonight I call on all civilized nations to join us in seeking to end the slaughter and bloodshed in Syria, and also to end terrorism of all kinds and all types. We ask for God's wisdom as we face the challenge of our very troubled world. We pray for the lives of the wounded and for the souls of those who have passed. And we hope that as long as America stands for justice, then peace and harmony will, in the end, prevail. Good night, and God bless America and the entire world. Thank you.
Now, just before we went on the air, the Pentagon put out a statement about the airstrikes, saying that the airstrikes targeted aircraft, hangars, fuel storage, air defense systems, ammunition, and the like on that airfield. The Pentagon says they do believe that the airstrikes severely damaged or destroyed Syrian aircraft and support infrastructure. The Pentagon also says that Russian military personnel were given advance warning of the airstrikes so as to minimize the risk to any Russian and Syrian military personnel that might have been in the way there. Now, of course, as you can imagine, there has been a lot of reaction to the airstrikes. Florida Senator Democrat Bill Nelson said he supports President Trump's decision and hopes that the airstrikes teach Assad not to use chemical weapons again. Syrian state television is also reporting about the airstrikes on military targets and is calling the airstrikes an act of aggression. Now, this is not the first time that Syria has been accused of something like this. In 2013, there were accusations that Syria had used chemical weapons on its people. President Obama at that time threatened military action. However, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad agreed to give up his chemical weapons. Back then, Mr. Trump said that getting involved in Syria would not be a good decision. And even just a few days ago, his administration said it did not appear that regime change in Syria was likely because of the political complexities there. However, President Trump said that after seeing the video and the fallout from the atrocity from that chemical attack, his opinion on whether Assad had to go had changed. Live near Palm Beach, Carey, CBS 4 News Tonight.